Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back. Okay, we had to hop off the last live, but I am here to finish up what we did not get a chance to finish up and talk about. Okay, we were in the middle of talking about Vice President Kamala Harris taking over as Biden stepped down, okay, and stepped away from the presidential race for president for next year and so on or whatnot. So she is now the nominee running in his place. Well, they said that she has enough delegates to be the nominee, but she still has to wait. In the, I believe the Democratic convention is going to take place at some point next month. Okay. But while we're waiting for more people to hop into the live and to get into some things with us, the first thing I want to get into is Sonia Massey's father. Okay. For a lot of people that may not know, Sonia Massey was unalived in her home. She called the cops over a possible intruder in her home. While she was there, she had a pot of hot boiling water on the stove. They asked her to cut it off. They didn't want a fire. She went to go grab that. One of the officers was backing up and said that he was afraid of the pot that she had in her hand. And she was like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And then next thing you know, she was unalived by another officer that was there. And honestly, now that I think about it, from the video, I believe it was the officer with the camera on him, the dash cam that said, not the dash cam, but the body cam. When he was, I believe it was him that said, "Oh, I'm scared." He's backing up. She's like, "What you backing away from?" He was like, "That pot that you got in your hand." My thing is this, sir, you wasn't even close enough for that damn pot to affect you for real. Okay. And you saw what she was doing with it. So I kind of not only fought the man that popped her, but also the man that was exaggerating, stepping the fuck back, creating like a, oh my God, like she's violent type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that. But we're going to get into what her father has to say over here. So let us check it out real quick as he is coming to the front to share his thoughts.
Conflicting stories. What were you told the circumstances of this shooting?
Well, I was never told that it was a deputy-involved shooting. We were under the impression that she was killed by the intruder or some other person from the street or something, and they just went in there and found her dead body. I did not find out that the deputies killed her until my brother asked for Sonia's address, and I gave it to him. And he said, "Brother, this says deputies involved." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But we were all misled to believe that. And then there was a story that this was self-inflicted, a self-inflicted gunshot.
I'm hearing that you were told
Oh,
conflicting
wow. So they
stories.
was
What
just
were you
lying
told?
up and down.
Oh my goodness.
So I think the cover-up started from just right after it happened. And thank God for the body camera footage. It's probably the most horrible and heart-wrenching thing that we've ever seen in our lives. But if it were not for the body cam footage, we would not have known that this occurred.
Yes, I say thank goodness too for that body cam footage, because we in the video it clearly shows she was not approaching him with steaming hot water, number one, which is what he said at the beginning. When he was asked about the gun, clearly there was no gun. Oh my goodness.
So
That's
I think
terrible.
She had said to the officer, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," which seemed to set him off. What do you think she meant? What does that mean? What was going on that you think that she would say those words to him?
I think that she feared for her life. There was some premonition that she had. And it seems like he was just an emissary of Satan. And that's what caused him to do what he did. It's just unexplainable.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. She had said to the officer,
That
"I
is
rebuke."
so sad. Like, what the hell? Then it's the different lies that y'all sat up there and told. Y'all are done. Okay, y'all, the family is on y'all tail, and I really hope that they get the justice that they're supposed to get from y'all, because y'all was wrong for this. Oh, y'all was wrong for that. They're saying previously reported Sonia Massey was fatally shot by an Illinois police officer after she called 911 to report a possible intruder in her home. Recently released body cam footage shows the Illinois deputy asked her to remove a pot of boiling water from her stove to prevent a fire shortly after the deputy popped her. I feel like that's it. Now I just question everything about the scene, from the officer taking a step back to them asking her to go get that pot of boiling water. It makes me question, like, yeah, you're saying that to not prevent a fire, but was that your intention anyway? Was to create some situation so that you can clap her? Because you definitely went there with your body cam off. So that's very questionable. And and I want to know also, what was the partner doing when all of this came out? Where was the partner? What did he say when he allowed that person to tell a narrative and tell a story of what happened, when he know for sure, and it's caught on his body cam, that what he was reporting was 1000% different? Some part of me feel like he should be held accountable a bit if you sat up there and allowed your coworker to lie, knowing that that's not how it went down. We do appreciate you, though, for having your body cam on, but that's a part of your job. You're supposed to do that anyway. So what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just leads me to question that. Thank you so much, Olga, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Hey, Jamie, I feel like the white cop uses N-words to describe us. Okay? Even the way he sounded in the video. Lock him up, period. Lock his ass up. And he is locked up. And thank you for the super chat. And he tried to get out. And they was like, no, we're going to keep you in here. And I'm so glad he's kept in there. And I think he has like maybe 5 or 6 counts, like different charges on him. But yeah, I have to say that it makes me question the other man that was at the scene too. Because how far did you let the lie go before you stepped in? You was going to have to turn that camera footage in anyway. That's your job, boo. So sad. So I'm sure we'll be following this case closely to see what is going to happen and where the family is as they are continuing to seek justice for the death, the very untimely death of Sonia. Like, just crazy. I'm so sorry that happened to her. Like, that is so scary. This is why people don't want to call y'all. Because at any moment, they go from being the victim to the perpetrator out of nowhere. It's like, what y'all be on? I can't. I can't. And then lied. Girl, because I'm going to be on there all day, because it's just the audacity for me. So let me get to the next thing. Okay. You guys can continue the conversation down below. This was interesting. The Secret Service situation. I want to get into that before we get back into, Kamala. All right. Now they're saying the Secret Service director steps down, heeding calls to quit after the Trump situation attempt. Okay. Both Republican and Democrat lawmakers have demanded the resignation of this woman, Director Kimberly Cheadle, after a contentious hearing on Monday. And that's what I really want to know about. I want to know about what was the hearing giving. And I'm hoping they give us a little glimpse of it when we get into this video. Let's see. The U.S. Director Kimberly Cheadle has stepped down after widespread calls from lawmakers for her to resign following the situation attempt with Trump. Now, they're saying in her resignation letter obtained from a senior official who received it, they said Cheadle wrote that the scrutiny over the last week has been intense and will continue to remain as our operational tempo increases. She says that she takes full responsibility for the security lapse. In light of recent events, it is with a heavy heart that I have made the difficult decision to step down as your director. She said it is unclear as to when her last day will be. Okay. They're saying that President Joe Biden thanked Cheadle for her service, saying that he will appoint her successor to lead the Secret Service soon. After the assassination attempt on Trump, Biden ordered an independent review to assess what happened and said Tuesday that he looks forward to reading its conclusions. We all know what happened that day can never happen again. All right. So this is what Biden is saying. We're going to get into this video, and then I do believe that Trump came out and said some things. But I feel like I'm not saying that they shouldn't call for her resignation, but they definitely are going to make this a Biden issue and therefore relay it back to, it being a Kamala problem, that this woman could not do her job. And more than anything, or I'm not going to say, well, they are definitely going to say that she couldn't do her job. That's like how they're going to twist it or whatever, because people were saying that they noticed this man on, a elevated, whatever. I don't know. It looked like he was on top of like a container of some sort, and they saw him with the rifle. They tried to alert security, is what they're saying, and nobody paid them any attention. So now she's in a position to where she has to resign or whatever, and we're gonna get into the clip. But they definitely, in my opinion, gonna relate this back to it being the Biden problem, okay? Then relaying it back to being the Kamala Harris problem. And in my opinion, I feel like they're gonna try to make this a situation as to why women should not be in leadership type roles. That's just what I think. That is not a fact, okay? That is just my opinion, all right? On the outside, that is just what I was thinking in my own little head, okay? But let's go ahead and get into this clip real quick.
The director of the Secret Service has resigned. Her resignation coming just one day after Kimberly Cheeto was grilled by members of Congress on both sides of the aisle during a testy hearing with the House Oversight Committee yesterday. As you probably know, the Secret Service itself has been under intense scrutiny for the past week or so after last week's assassination attempt against former President Trump at his Pennsylvania rally. In her testimony yesterday, Cheeto said that the Secret Service, quote, failed, calling it one of the agency's worst failures in decades. Let's bring in our Homeland Security correspondent, Julia Ainsley. She broke this story a short time ago. Julia, what more can you tell us?
Well, this, of course, follows that grilling testimony yesterday where both sides, Republicans and Democrats, called on Cheeto to resign. The pressure has been mounting on her. They even subpoenaed her for that testimony, but she wasn't able to answer some basic questions, mainly why that roof where the shooter took his aim at former President Trump was not part of the Secret Service's perimeter, why they left that to local police, and why that roof was ultimately not secured when Trump took the stage, and why the Secret Service even let Trump take the stage that day in Pennsylvania when they knew there was a suspicious person that local police were looking for in the crowd. She wasn't able to answer a lot of those basic questions. She said it was because of the multiple investigations into that incident, including internally within DHS and the White House, also by people on the Hill. But without information, she did not come off good. It was a tough day for her. She wasn't able to answer a lot. And after the end of the day, there were multiple calls for her to resign. It was actually a surprise that it took until this point to get a resignation. But what we kept hearing from people inside the Secret Service was that she wanted to stay in that position while that investigation unfolded so that she could hold those accountable and look into exactly what planning or failures to plan led up to that massive security failure on July 13th. So this is a big reversal. She is now, we've been told she has resigned. It's unclear whether or not that means she's handed in a letter of resignation and that then needs to be approved by the president. But I'm told this is done. She has resigned and that we should be expecting an official announcement here just within the next hour or so, Craig.
And Julia, there was, of course, also that issue. Reportedly, the Trump campaign had asked for additional staff leading up to that rally in Pennsylvania, but the requests were denied.
That's right. We know that there were repeated requests for other events from Trump's security detail, asking leadership in the Secret Service for more manpower and resources, things like magnetometers to scan people on their way into their rallies. We know that the former president is not like any other candidate. Usually the Secret Service does provide some security to presidential candidates, but of course with Trump and his position as a former president and the kind of rallies he likes to have with sharp rhetoric and outside venues, they said they needed more security. We know that those requests.
That's interesting that y'all saying how he likes to have outside venues and stuff. When word on the street is the fact that this man still owes money to the vendors and the locations that he used when he was running the first damn time, and that's the reason his ass cannot go back, from what I'm hearing, to those same venues until his ass paid. That's why he's been doing these rallies outside and shit, because it's either more financially sound for him or it's completely damn free. Okay, but that's interesting. Tell me, like, do
were
she not sound
denied.
like this?
I'm told by Secret Service
man's
officials it's
fucking
because
dead.
of resources. They simply don't have the manpower to staff as they want. But Cheadle was clear that the July 13th rally did get all of the resources they requested.
Now, I can believe that. I believe that they probably did get all of the resources that they requested, and I definitely believe that they don't have the manpower in my personal, because if they did, your people wouldn't have been able to run that fucking muck that they did January 6th, and we'll never let you forget about it, okay? In addition to that, it's so many people struggling to get folks just to be officers. Like, it's so many people, like, they are so many counties, cities, like, they are hiring for officers, and people is not as interested as they once were. So I'm sure it's been even more tougher for y'all to get people to be a part of the Secret Service too. But that's just, you know, what I'm thinking. So yeah, that's that. Let's see, what else do we have over here that I wanted to get into? Oh, yeah. Real quick. Hold on, let me go back, because I do want to talk about Delta. So this woman is stepping down. Yeah, we don't know when she's going to step down officially, but it's definitely on the way. And it's just going to be interesting to see how this all play out and who they try to place blame on when it comes to, you know, her role and stuff like that. So I don't know. Some of the milk ain't clean though. Some is giving sketchy as hell. Okay, some is giving sketchy surrounding this whole attempt. And we just gonna wait and see what's going on. But anywho, so Transportation Secretary, all right, he commits to holding Delta applicable to passenger protection rules amid mass cancellations. Now, I thought that a lot of the cancellations was tied to that Sky situation, the what was it, CrowdStrike software updates. So because of that, a lot of people's flights have been delayed and canceled. Now, Delta, if y'all did a software update and it attacked everything and it caused people to be in delayed situations, not able, because I saw a picture in Atlanta where they were showing all of these folks standing around waiting for their bags to be checked, baby. Waiting for their bags, okay, that were checked. They're waiting for them to arrive, and I'm sure that shit was lost, and I'm sure it's all due to like the update of this software. But that's why I try my best not to travel with checked bags. I think I may have only did that maybe once when I had went to DC. But outside of that, hell no. I try my best to just put it all in a damn carry-on. Like, I'm just not. And then what I like about, I think it's Southwest that I like to travel for the most part, because they'll let you do 2 check bags, 2 carry-ons. If I can carry 2 bags on, fuck that check bag. Okay? F that. Because I do not like to sit around waiting around for my shit. And I hear too many people talk about how their stuff has gotten lost even well before this situation. And they have to ship their stuff to them and all of that. Bitch, by the time you ship it, my trip is over. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time for that. Let me pack accordingly. Pack light. That's what it's giving for me, bitch. I'm packing light. I'm not going to be doing all that. But they say that they have received reports of continued disruptions and unacceptable customer service conditions. All right. They said at Delta Airlines, they're saying including hundreds of complaints filed with the USDOT. And they have made it clear to Delta that they will hold them to all applicable passenger protections, as y'all should. Okay. So accommodate those people accordingly. We know it was a strong inconvenience for y'all with the software update. You guys were not expecting that. But at the end of the day, as a business, y'all need to maintain the best, customer service as possible. So just make sure them people is taken care of. My homegirl said, Delta count your days after this weekend. Missed the first day of a mandatory class. They better hope I don't get my ass handed to me at work. Oh, no. Count your days. Somebody says, as an airline employee, y'all are not understanding the magnitude of that system outage Thursday night. And when resources run out, there is literally nothing most of us can do. I do believe that is factual. They are running out of crew members due to delays, and that is the cause of cancellations. It sucks. I get it sucks, but everyone is trying to catch up, and it's not as easy as it may sound. Right. I think she definitely has a point. But also, again, I still stand by treat your people right. Treat your people right. I think on both sides, it could be a bit of understanding, as it is not fully Delta's fault, because everybody was affected by this outage, right? It wasn't just, these airlines. It was so many people, health cares. Like, it was a lot of people that was affected. So I think understanding could have went on both sides, but hold them accountable as you need to. Good luck. Let's see. Oh, I want to read this one before I go. Delta FA, here, there is a way. Okay, Delta FA here, this is way beyond Delta's fault. Crew tracking was affected, and they have no idea where 28,000 flights are and over 10,000 pilots. Wow. We are sleeping on planes in the airport and paying for our own hotels. Also, we are just as frustrated. I'm praying for a reset. Okay, so she was saying Delta flight attendant here, basically. But all right, you guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm not sure if any of you guys were affected. I hope that you weren't. And I hope that whatever you have been dealing with is getting resolved at this particular time. Okay. Very sad, girl. I'm like, what? Y'all do a software update and the whole system go down, baby? That sound like a damn hack. Somebody hacked into y'all shit. But anywho, what else we got over here? So this woman has retired. I'm sorry, she has resigned. We have the woman that has resigned from the position. And Trump decided to come out and give his little 2 cents, as he's always going to do. He says the Biden-Harris administration did not properly protect me. What didn't I just say this? Didn't I just say what he was finna do? Didn't I just say? Because see, really, he's shaking in his boots. The only leg he has to stand on right now, I ain't gonna say the only leg, but part of the leg he has to stand on is this attempt where it's giving sympathy and payola, bitch. That's what it's giving, sympathy and payola, and he is finna ride this shit all the way out, okay? They did not protect me. Not only did he show up with a big-ass bandage, y'all can't really see in this photo, but now he has decreased the bandage. Now the bandage isn't as big. Once you had some doctors go onto a news station and report that he was not actually hit with a bullet, as he said, he was hit with glass, is the gag for me. And once that came out, now all of a sudden... Now that they have come out and come to the front about what happened, now you want to minimize the bandage but still play it up like, oh my God, it was blood everywhere. I felt the fire in my ear, blood. Now you want to try and play it down but still play it up at the same time like you were still injured. That's the gag for me. Hilarious. Okay, and then he ain't got a leg to stand on because the truth's starting to come out. So now he's got to say, well, either way it go, whether it was bullet or glass, I got hit. Okay, because of somebody else. And you know what else? You know what? The Biden and the Harris administration did not protect me. They didn't. They didn't protect me. I was a sitting president. I should always have protection, and they didn't. They were a part of the... And see, I know they would love to... He would love to use that. They were a part of the assassination attempt against me. Nah, baby. Because when it's time, make sure you mention that baby was a Republican. And let me tell y'all how they tried to play it up by sitting up there saying, this is a new Republican. Duh, BITCH. Y'all tried to play it up like this person is new to the Republican Party, as if that doesn't hold weight, because the boy was like 20 years old. Of course, he's new. He just was able to vote at the age of 18, but guess what? He chose to be Republican. Those are your people trying to take you down. Those are your people that you're adding to your ballot to run with you that was talking about you and did not approve of you. Get it together. Those are your folks, my love. That's your people. Anywho, there's that girl, okay? Girl, now they over there. They a little shook and shocked, honey. They're a little shook and shocked because they was not expecting the people to rally around Miss Kamala. Okay, now we don't know what's going to happen. He may still win in the end. We don't know. But right now, he's shaking. See, I said I know he was having mixed feelings because it's like Biden was weak. I want Biden out. But then, no, I don't want him out because him being weak plays to my advantage. While he's being weak running in the polls, I'm showing how strong I am because I almost got taken out, but I'm still here holding it down. You can't play that game no more, baby. So now what you finna do? Baby, this is crazy. This is crazy. But the ones y'all really need to be worried about, in my opinion, while y'all over here heavily focusing on the black vote, y'all need to be worried about them white women. And if y'all are white women watching this, girl, it is what it is. You may not be the white one I'm talking about, okay? But y'all need to be worried about them white women. Because I feel like they were the ones, and I feel like I saw this, but anywho, I do believe that they were the ones that were heavily crucial in getting his ass in office. So y'all need to be trying to get that vote. That's what y'all need to be going over there swaying. And y'all ladies need to understand that they really trying to roll back a lot of stuff to where you just really just up here just sitting and existing. You ain't got a whole lot to say about nothing. We don't really need your input. And it's so crazy. That's why I want so much to change in this government. I pray to God by the time my little one really comes up and he's living life, my baby, I just pray that stuff has really like evolved heavily. Like it kills me that a lot of y'all are old as fuck. Where you were when you were in high school and you became an adult, we are so not in the same place. Okay? That's why I don't feel like y'all should sit in these positions as long as you do. That's why I do feel like it should be some age limits to certain things. I do feel like y'all, I don't know, I would think y'all have a physical, but y'all need to have a physical for certain things. Okay? If it's giving early dementia and it's no disrespect, listen, you just may not be in the running, Bookie, but okay, so it's certain parameters y'all need to start setting around stuff. Why is these people that's old as I don't know what's and over here making decisions for people like we ain't where we was, girl? Why is y'all trying to pigeonhole folks? Like, what is going on? So I just feel like changes definitely need to be made, and I pray to God that they are made soon. So we shall see. All right. Let's see. What this person, Kamala Harris, created a back on track prison diversion program as a prosecutor to help first time drug offenders to get a high school diploma and a job instead of incarceration. Remember that. Okay, I know that's right, girl. Let's keep going. All right, so we got into this earlier today where Joe Biden came out and he announced that he will be stepping down and removing himself from the race. This is when Trump came to the front and he decided to pretty much call out Biden and say that Biden was full of lies. He was never capable of being in this role. People knew that he was never capable to be in this president role, but they continue to rock with it and listen to the lies and the fake news and all of that stuff. So this was his moment to come out and, really attack Biden because he was feeling a way about him. Okay. And has always felt a way about the man. I don't see how this man literally tried to sit up here and find votes. Wasn't he recorded on audio or email or something telling people to find votes in the state of Georgia? Because he was upset that he lost this race and was not willing to step down. Am I tripping? Like, what? And you want to sit up here and talk about some lies and some fake news? I feel like if people feel like there's fake news on Donald Trump's end, like basically they're not reporting accurately, then the same thing is happening on the other side, the way that y'all over here trying to slander Kamala too. Okay? So fake news is on both sides, baby. It don't just apply to one. So then once that happened, of course, Biden decided to come out. That's when he endorsed Kamala Harris. And he's like, listen, I'll put my full support behind her. I won't be in it, but I'm going to be with her every step of the way. Okay. So we have that. And then that's when Kamala came to the front and she accepted his endorsement. She said that she was honored to have it. And she plans on earning and winning this nomination and this overall election. Okay. Miss Ma'am went and did a call with black women. She had 44,000 black women on that call. They raised over $80 million in 24 hours. And now I do believe she stands at over $100 million. Okay. And like I told y'all earlier, it's just so funny because they saw the party to be so weak and they needed a weak leader for the party to appear weak. And now that things have shifted and they have put all of their energy behind Miss Kamala, now he over there shook and shocked. So the only thing he can hold at this particular moment as they continue to dig to find more to go up against Kamala against is the fact that the Biden-Harris administration did not protect me. I feel like they did. It's unfortunate that the attempt was taken against you. I honestly, whether I like him or not, I don't think that was necessarily, the way to go. You feel what I'm saying? But it's giving, did you die? But did you die? You know who did die? John F. Kennedy did. They survived that one on him. They took him clean the fuck out. So whatever this sympathy thing you got going on, but did you die? You're here. You're here. Okay, so there's that. But he's gonna try to hold on to that and play that up like it was really giving. I could have been gone. I could have been out of here when I hit the ground. Everybody thought that I wasn't here. They thought that I was dead. Everybody, I mean, oh my God, it was blood everywhere. It was not no goddamn blood everywhere, baby. It was some blood on y'all. It was like you got hit with something. He definitely got hit with something. The question is whether it was a bullet or whether it was glass. The people were saying that it was glass, okay? He definitely had a stream of blood coming down his face. We cannot deny that. That definitely happened, okay? But it is what it is, okay? Let's see. We got into Van Jones pretty much talking about the situation where how some people came up against Biden and said that he should drop out of the race, which were, people from the Democratic Party. Listen, I feel like him dropping out, coming to the front it was good. You needed to do this because it brings the conversation back to age limits when it comes to these presidential races and then beyond. Okay? How do we have a term for presidency of 4 years, 2 different terms, but a 4-year limit, but the Supreme Justices get to sit up there for God knows how long? Oh, hell no, girl. No, ma'am. No, man, we need to change some things in America. It has to change. Something has to be modified, girl. It's not making sense. And I do want and hope people have the same energy when it comes to the local elections. When it comes to your governor, your mayors, within your county, your city. I even got to do a better job of that. You know what I'm saying? That's where they really be getting the hell out of us. Okay. And what's crazy is our own local areas. I feel like sometimes, depending on who it is, like Atlanta, right? Atlanta may get more coverage when it comes to their mayor and stuff than they give to other surrounding areas, other surrounding cities. Like if there's one for Sandy Springs, you don't hear shit about that. Okay. You just Roswell, you don't hear that type of stuff. They focus specifically on Atlanta and they'll cover that race and stuff and they'll cover the governors and stuff, but they don't do that for all the other areas for real. So it's really on you to seek out and find and learn about these different people that's running for office in your area. But yeah, so I even got to do a better job with that. So hopefully we all do. Okay. Hopefully it's a trickle down effect, not just up here. Okay, but down there too. Let's see what else. Okay, so this is a political analyst that says what we all are thinking as far as Trump shaking in his motherfucking boots. So let us go ahead and listen to what he has to say, just a piece.
Most unhappy people in America right now are Donald Trump, his campaign, and his supporters. They were salivating at the opportunity to run against 81-year-old Joe Biden. Joe Biden's a good man, but Joe Biden is incapable of communicating and making the case against Trump. Trump and his team knew that. They know Kamala Harris can make that case. And they also know that Kamala Harris is going to generate a lot of excitement from young people and people of color throughout this country who just were not really excited and maybe were thinking about staying at home in November. The Trump campaign is scared about this. They will not know how to handle this. And the other point I'd make is he's always going after people, but he's always had a difficult time attacking strong women. This will not be easy for him. Most unhappy people in America.
Real interesting, baby. That's Mr. Vice President. I'm speaking. I can't wait for her to hit Trump ass with that because he's going to try to interrupt her, baby. I'm speaking. Former President Trump. I'm speaking, okay? I'm ready for the smile and the head nod. I want to see it. I hope she demolishes him. Let's see what else, okay? So this was interesting. I saw this on Claudia Jordan's page where Kamala tweeted, I prosecuted SCX predators. Trump is one. I shut down for profit scam colleges. He ran one. I held big banks accountable. He's owned by them. Okay. I'm not just prepared to take on Trump. I'm prepared to beat his ass. Okay. I'm prepared to beat his ass. Period. So that is what it is giving. All right. So listen, this is real interesting. And you know what's so also interesting? I've been seeing some pages that I've followed that's been like, more so, black people, these black people that in a positive way. But for some reason, when it came to Kamala stepping up to run for presidency, they started saying some negative stuff about her. And it's clear that they don't have their facts because they're repeating a lot of stuff that other folks have said. And I'm like, no, that was like actually debunked or whatever. I said, I got to unfollow you, baby. I said, let me go ahead and just slide to the back. I'm just going to have to go ahead and just hop off. Because now, I said, it's one thing for you to be, that's my thing though. At least be fair. If it's some things that she has done that you're not in support of, I can't tell you not to be, and that's fine. Don't be in support of it. But also, don't just promote the negative things about her as you feel, but you're not doing the same thing on the other side. But then you're supposed to be a page that has a large following that's supposed to be about us. Like, what the fuck? I feel like Trump supporters are very much so part of the reason as well as to why people are not going to be voting for him, because when they get him in office, they just feel like they have all of this power to walk around with their Trump flags and all of this stuff as if they are Ku Klux Klan and all of that other you know what I'm saying? The racism and stuff really does jump out. The sexism and things really does jump out. So I think y'all are also definitely the reason. It's not just Trump. Y'all be like, what has Trump done to y'all? It's not just Trump. It's a lot of y'all supporters. Just like it's like some celebrities, like it's like, oh, y'all make it hard to like her or him because of the fans. You know what I'm saying? So in addition to his ass, it's y'all too. Okay. But anywho, so yeah, we talked about the ladies. It was like 44,000 women got on the call to raise money for Kamala. Well, now they're saying that it was 53,000 men that hopped on the call with Win with Black Men, and they raised $1.3 million in 2 hours for Miss Kamala. Listen, y'all better listen. Y'all can show up. Y'all can show up and show out when y'all want to. So they're saying I have Roland Martin says I have no words, and not just because I'm tired. My Black Star Network just told me that 53,862 people registered for our Win with Black Men video call. We raised 1.3 million and counting for 17,000 donors. That is dope as hell. That is dope. Y'all better show up, girl. The people is speaking. They like, girl, they is rallying, but we got to get into more. Okay, they is rallying. I thought this was really interesting, but not as interesting because I feel like a lot of this happens on Twitter. Okay, they're saying this is a Trump supporter who was accused of pretending to be a black woman on Twitter over a now deleted post. So I guess he was posting on his page, trying so hard to post something up and not realizing that he was doing it from his main page. Okay, from his main account. And he says, let me go back. So the tweet says, I'm a true Black American woman, and I've been Black all my life. I was born Black, and I will die Black. My mommy Black, my daddy Black. I will never cast a ballot for Kamala Harris as long as I live. All right. Trump all the way, all day, every day. And then you use this person's image. So now I'm wondering, who is this woman even? Is this woman alive? Is she not alive? And you're using somebody that passed away's photo? Are you using a person that's currently alive photo? Either way, it's not your photo. And I feel like that's disrespectful as hell. You don't need to use somebody else's image and put a statement up about them when there are plenty of black women that do actually support this man. What the hell? And then look at you. I can't. Ooh, child. So then he says the tweet posted earlier from my account was the result of my account being logged in on a friend's device. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Not you logged in on a friend's account. Ooh, anybody that's friends with this man needs to really think about this. Like, your friend will put this off on you. He didn't have to say a name, but all of y'all that are affiliated, people know who y'all are. That's crazy. He says, clearly I'm not a black woman. Unlike the Democrat nominee for president, I don't spend my time pretending to be a black woman to garner vote. And then proceeds to lack accountability and then try to place blame on her when she ain't got shit to do with your decision making. You chose to do this, my boo. You chose to do this, bookie butt. That's what you did. And then now you trying to sit up here and say that she's over here pretending. How is she pretending her daddy is Jamaican? It is what it is. And it's so funny that now y'all want to get into the grains and the specifics of whether a person is black or white, when actually back in the day, since y'all want to keep focusing on that as well, it didn't matter. Y'all based it off of the hue and the skin color of somebody. So if they had a little too much tan in them, then she was black. So based on y'all logic, she's black. So now we're trying to move the goalpost and change it. Okay, then, girl. Whatever floats, step out. So they're saying the lesson here is always log yourself out when borrowing or using friends' devices. You sound like a clown and a liar, because even months later, you'll stay logged in. So why all of a sudden would they want to do this to you? Why all of a sudden would they want to sit up here and do this to you when they've had access to your stuff for months all of a sudden? Get the dog hell out of here, baby. Okay? What a clown. What a fucking clown. What a clown. I can't. Let's keep going. Ignorant as hell. I love this guy. His name is Kenneth. Some people may not. I don't give a damn. Listen, I found out about him over there on the TikTok. It's him and Quentin Giles, who I have been following for a minute, and I just love getting into their content on TikTok, because that's where I begin like my updates and stuff a lot of times of what's happening in like politics and stuff. And with him, he has been championing for Miss Kamala Harris for the longest, for a few years. Okay, and y'all see he got a chance to meet her. He was so happy. But he had to come to the front and clock a few things, and I want to get into some of the stuff that he has clocked. And you know, listen, it might be some cussing in here, girl, so just prepare yourself, because we don't have the bleep on this one. Okay, unfortunately, I don't have the bleeper on this particular one. So I'm actually going to start with this video, because I think this was the first one that I saw from him, and then I ended up seeing these two down here, but we'll go to this one first. Okay.
Foster, I'm going to grant you grace today. Miss Kimberly Foster, I'm going to grant you grace today, and I'm going to ask you and allow you to retract your video and your statements on Vice President Kamala Harris, because respectfully, you do not know what the hell you're talking about.
Problem with Kamala Harris is that she was trying to, in 2020, run so far away from being the top cop, being the prosecutor, that she was trying to fit herself into a mold that she just doesn't fit into. She's hardline, she's hardcore, she's tough on crime.
No disrespect, sis, but what the hell are you talking about? Kamala Harris was one of the most progressive prosecutors of her time. She created the first of the nation reentry program called Back on Track, which worked with low-level offenders to get them out of prison, give them an education, give them job wellness classes, credit building classes, gave them education rather than incarceration, and expunged their records after the fact so it wouldn't be a barrier for them to get a job.
Wow.
Like, this is the stuff that
I feel like that's a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? But I wish they would take it a step further, because once they're able to get jobs and they're able to operate in the world and y'all can get taxes off of them, y'all need to also let these people vote too. Don't just lock them up, you know, all of that. Thank God she was able to expunge their records and, you know, set them up for success once they come out. If they have like low level crimes or whatnot, I think that's great, because some of these states and stuff be trying to have people tied the fuck up like forever, in my personal. But if y'all are gonna force these people to come out, get jobs, and a lot of y'all be trying to restrict them from getting jobs, but if y'all gonna have them come out, get jobs, and y'all tax them, that's so important to me. For y'all to sit up here and tax people, y'all need to let them vote as well. I think that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you double dipping just a bit, because not only is you snatching their money, but you're not also allowing them to fully participate in society. And I feel like that's participation, like when you're able to vote. And whether they choose to vote or not, it's still their right to do so. So I think that right should be, you know, reinstated. That's just my opinion, though.
that's confusing the hell out of me. And while everybody's sitting here talking about she was tough on crime, they said that she was soft on crime. She called it being smart on crime. Because a lot of people were upset with the fact that she was building a re-entry program to get offenders out of prison, calling her a social worker rather than a prosecutor. Here's the clip.
That as of January, we will have Back on Track in California's penal code as a model of what we should be doing to be smart on crime.
And yet you can't run away from the charges of those who do not agree with you. They call it soft on crime, that you can't be a social worker as a prosecutor.
And then you're going to say she was trying to shy away from her being a prosecutor. Have you never heard of justice on the ballot?
I believe that in 2020, justice is on the ballot. When in America, there is a father who is holding down 2 jobs and paying more taxes than the richest 400 families in America, economic justice is on the ballot. When in America, there is a mother who is in a parking lot of a hospital, afraid to walk through the sliding glass doors to get into the emergency room with her child, because she knows if she walks through those sliding glass doors, she'll be out of pocket a $4,000 deductible. Healthcare justice is on the ballot.
And since we're talking about justice on the ballot, a lot of these issues and initiatives have actually been addressed by the Biden-Harris administration. When it comes to economic justice, we got student loan debt forgiveness, we got the child tax credit. And then when we're talking about healthcare justice, let's not forget the fact that now, thanks to the Biden-Harris administration, they cannot report to the credit bureau your medical debt. Then you said that she was over here trying to appeal to the people during the George Floyd riots. However, she helped co-author and co-sponsor the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act in June before she was even on the damn ticket with Joe. But I gotta add more to this, because there's more to Kamala Harris than just re-entry and low-level offenders. We have to talk about the fact that Kamala Harris tackled sex trafficking, particularly when it comes to young black women and young trans women. Y'all do not understand that Kamala Harris created one of the first in the nation child protective bureaus that focused on protecting the children and not charging them for child prostitution. When they were being sex trafficked, they were victims. She gave them access to safe houses. And if you don't believe me, ask black activist Latifah Simon, who was there.
Because really our call was to not decriminalize quote-unquote prostitution, but stop the district attorney's office for charging children who are being bought and sold on the streets for prostitution. They're children and they're being bought and sold. And when she told me that that was her goal too, I was like, oh, well, we can rock. And then I met her and I was like, okay, all right, sister. We come to this meeting, and this woman that I was working with, who had to be 15, 16 at the time, who had just literally days earlier been savagely raped, gang raped. And I needed her to be in this space, this first task force meeting. Kamala met us, and for somehow I guess because she had been working with young women who had been victims for so long, she, without knowing the sister's story, and the sister had deep chocolate brown skin, and she had cut off her hair after her rape, so she had this very short, beautiful afro. She looked at Helen, cupped her face, and said, "Baby, I'm glad that you're here." And something about that moment, I was like, oh, we gonna rock together. You know what? Because I ain't never seen nobody like you do this work here.
Sis, what are you talking about? Kamala Harris went from pillar to post as AG, standing up even against when people voted for Proposition 8. She stood up for marriage equality, even to where it equates to what she's doing right now with codifying marriage equality with the Respect for Marriage Act. And since we're on LGBT issues, did you know that Kamala Harris worked to end the gay and trans panic defense? And for those who don't know what the fuck that is, this was an excuse that was done by defense attorneys that basically said that it gave their client the right to harm somebody or take the life of somebody who was either gay or trans because they were in sticker shock that they found that this person was trans or this person was gay. That gave them the authority to take away somebody's life. Kamala ended that shit. And since we're at it, let's just go ahead and debunk all the shit. There was some lie that said Kamala Harris locked up 1,500 people, knowing damn well that most of marijuana charges are handled by lower level attorneys. But even with that being so, if you look at the data and the trajectory, marijuana emissions decreased under Kamala Harris's tenure. Then there was another damn lie that Kamala Harris kept over 20,000 prisoners in jail past their sentences for slave labor when that didn't damn happen. That notion was filed by Patrick McKinney, which was denied, meaning it didn't fucking happen. And Kamala Harris knew nothing about this because she had over 20,000 cases that she's working with. She's not intimately involved in every case that hits the damn desk. And this case didn't even require the authorization from Attorney General. You could have got that from a level 3 deputy attorney. Then there was another lie that Kamala Harris stole Nina Simone's estate when that wasn't even the damn case. What had happened was Nina Simone's daughter stole and embezzled money that was supposed to be used for a music school to build her businesses. So Kamala Harris had to intervene to fulfill Nina's wishes that was in her will. Then there was another lie that Kamala Harris blocked evidence that would have exonerated a black man, when that is not so. The black man's name was Kevin Cooper. He was arrested and sentenced in 1985 when Kamala Harris was still in college, you guys. And what happened was he was given several DNA tests that never exonerated him. It went all the way up to the Courts of Appeals and was struck down. Meaning he was all out of appeals, meaning he needed clemency for the governor, which was Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time, which was denied. Now, they went to the Attorney General asking for another one, but she had no authority to do that. So, Thank God, because y'all don't do follow-ups. Gavin Newsom gave Kevin Cooper another DNA test, and it turns out it still didn't exonerate him. His ass is motherfucking guilty. Y'all need to do follow-ups and stop running your fucking mouth without knowing what you're talking about. And let me just say this in closing, sis. Everything that you said in your video was drenched in internalized misogyny. I don't know what childhood trauma you got, but don't project that shit on Kamala. And it could be easy for me to beat you down, but instead I'm going to lift you up and tell you that you're enough. You're not going to sit here and talk about Kamala Harris as an airhead or she's coming off of inauthentic. This is something that black women have to hear on a daily, and I'm sure you've heard it yourself. But you have to stop projecting all your no's and every person who stood in the way or questioned your ability to lead, your ability to do the job, question your credentials. You need to stop doing that shit to Kamala because it's all internalized anti-blackness and misogyny. Sis, look within. You're enough. You're enough. And nobody told you today. I'm going to tell you, you're enough. But don't project that shit on Kamala. You have a nice day, ma'am.
It was the "you have a nice day, ma'am" that definitely had me chuckling. And I really appreciate this because I myself, in all honesty, I'm not as familiar with everything, right? So I love when they can come and teach me and, pretty much debunk a lot of things that may be out here with actual factual articles, because people will report on stuff and then not go and do the follow-ups. And I love this. Like, I have been keeping my TV on like politics like all day because I'm trying to get tuned in, clued in, all of that. Okay, so I love this. I love when we also have some content creators that'll come to the front and give us the short cliff notes. But then even with that, we shouldn't just rely on their stuff. They're telling us this so that we can also go and find this information for ourselves and do our own due diligence. You know what I'm saying? I really do appreciate that. His name, for anybody that wants to follow him, is Too Raw, Too Real. Okay, the number 2 Raw, 2 TOO Real, and that's the same on all platforms. I found him on Instagram and Twitter like that because that's his name on TikTok. But there is more that I wanted to get into of what all he says, and then we're gonna hop over to my girl, the black girl that went to Yale University, that's an attorney, and she really understands politics as well, so we'll get into her too. Okay, let's see.
It's time to get active, K-Hive. We better rally the fucking troops around Vice President Kamala Harris because they're going to try to steal this election from her. I do not trust them. Everybody with a fucking BLM in their bio and women's reproductive rights flag and trans flag and rainbow flag, they are going to try to steal this from Vice President Kamala Harris. Thank God Joe Biden don't give a fuck about what nobody else got to say. Even with him dropping out, he still endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to be the nominee. He made that very abundantly clear that he supports Vice President Kamala Harris, and I hope that his delegates are tried and true and will stick to the damn plan that Biden has laid in front of us. But I guarantee you what they're going to try to do is going to lie on Kamala Harris's record yet again, call her a DEI hire. They're going to talk about her approval ratings. They're going to do every fucking thing to try to make sure that they insert somebody white other than Kamala Harris. But I want black people to understand that now is the time to hold the fucking line. Do not allow them to do it, because for too damn long, we have been sidelined. For too damn long, we have been looked over. It is time for us to fucking lead and fix this fucking country. And Kamala Harris is the right person to do it. She is the most, and I don't give a fuck who they put up. Kamala Harris is the most qualified to do the fucking job. She's worked on a local and federal level as DA, as Attorney General, as Senator, and as Vice President. There is nobody who has more foreign experience than Kamala Harris because she's met with over 100 fucking leaders. Do not fucking play with it. All I know is even if we do get Kamala as our nominee, we are still into a fucking fight because we're going to have legal fucking challenges because of the ballot change. I want you guys to be clear-eyed, and I want you guys to stand 10 toes down. Do not waver on that shit. Do not fucking move. But I guarantee you, Democrats, if you fuck around and you try to replace Kamala Harris and you try to sideline her, you will lose black voters for years to fucking come. I don't give a fuck what donors got to say. Donors should not. The things that really pisses me off is donors should not go over voters. It was 15 million people who voted for Joe Biden. But apparently, donors are more important than voters. And I guess democracy might be dead at this motherfucking point. But let me just get to my final word. Black voters, stand on that shit. We have a fucking assignment. We know the fucking assignment. Let's fulfill this shit. Let's break this fucking ceiling. It's time Let me address my people real quick because I'm so sick of this negativity bullshit talking, oh, Kamala Harris can't win. White women won't vote for her. First of all, white women didn't even vote for Joe Biden. They voted for Donald Trump. In fact, Hillary got more white women votes than Joe Biden did in 2016. So miss me with that bullshit. I'm so sick of y'all and this defeatist ass attitude, always talking about what white people can decide what the hell black people can be. White people do not decide who the fuck we can be. We have always overcome the fucking odds. They've always tried to tell us what the fuck we couldn't be. They told us we couldn't be president. We did that shit. They told us we wouldn't be Supreme Court. We got 3 of them motherfuckers. They said we wouldn't be legislators. Said we wouldn't be lawmakers. Said we wouldn't be lawyers. But we've been all of these things. Said we wouldn't be entrepreneurs. Said we wouldn't build our own businesses. We've been all of these things. We've always overcome. Why are you asking white people for permission to be who you are set to fucking be? What the fuck is that? How is that fucking pro-black? Stop and miss me with that bullshit. If you vote, we can win. Miss me with that defeatist ass fucking attitude. Kamala been telling us for years what can be unburdened by what has been. What the fuck, you think you fell out of a goddamn coconut tree? Your ass better vote for goddamn Kamala. Let me address my people, bro.
The way he be eating down, because he be so passionate. It's funny, but it's really not. Like, he be so passionate, and I be here for it all, okay? Real quick, it looks like Donald Trump has asked, according to Radar Online, for his money back, okay? They're saying Donald Trump demands refund for the millions in cash he splashed running against Joe. If this ain't a clown move, in my personal, whether you're running against Joe or you're not, you're still running, fool. You are running for this office. All of that money went towards what it was supposed to go towards, okay? So why are you still trying to beat down Joe, who ain't even in the fight no more, and you trying to sit up here and get money back for the millions that you spent, that you didn't even spend, that the donors gave? And I feel like that's a slap in their face. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want all my money back because I done sat up here and ran against this man that y'all know was not qualified, and whoop-de-whoop it. Okay? That ain't nice. Somebody said, is he going to, this lady, she says, is he going to refund the people who donated to him thinking it was for his campaign when he used those funds to pay for his legal defense and trials? Girl. Now you already know, girl. Hello? You already know, bitch, okay? So, there's the thing, honey. Trump said he want his money back. Let me see what else we got. Oh, Plies. Plies is a mess, y'all. Plies has been having a lot to say. Plies has been having a whole lot to say, and I do want to see what exactly he coming to talk about now, okay? Let me go to this clip real quick where Miss Kamala is talking. He says Kamala is not BSing. I know Trump's type. Let's see what she's saying here.
You know, as many of you know, before I was elected as vice president, before I was elected as United States Senator, I was the elected Attorney General, as I've mentioned, of California. And before that, I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Well, there's that. Okay, let's see what else we got over here with Trump. I mean, not Trump, but with Plies.
They come on, this whole Kamala thing, I don't know if America's there yet. America there yet? It ain't about it for motherfucking America there yet. It's about it we motherfucking there yet. I don't know if a white man will vote for a black woman. That's his motherfucking business. We ain't canceling no motherfucking cookout, though. I tell you that. You can motherfucking come over here and join the motherfucking cookout, or you can stay your motherfucking ass home. But we ain't canceling no motherfucking cookout, I know that. We got all the motherfucking baked beans and potato salad you motherfucker want. You can come over here, have a motherfucking good time, or you can stay your motherfucking out or go to their motherfucking cookout. 45 of them having a motherfucking cookout over there too. They probably feel exactly how you motherfucking feel. All these motherfucking years, a woman was able to vote for a motherfucking man, especially a woman of color was able to vote for a white man. Bill Clinton, all of them. Now all of a sudden this motherfucking problem for the white man to vote for a sister? What kind of shit is that? If that's the motherfucking case, the sister ain't the motherfucking problem. It's motherfucking him. Wanna hear that shit? I'm here for two motherfucking reasons. God first, my motherfucking mama. And she wasn't just here to nurture me. She scrapped the motherfucking boots up, went to work, 3-4 jobs, and took care of me and my motherfucking brother. Don't come telling me about no women can't run shit. Motherfucking women out here doing their thing. Motherfucking Oprah Winfrey and Rihanna and motherfucking Alice Walton over there worth $72 billion at Walmart. Fucking Karen Lynch, founder of CVS. I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all don't want them to be able to motherfucking run down. That's the motherfucking problem. Motherfucking the white man. Nobody don't want to hear that shit. This ain't the motherfucking 1920s no motherfucking more. You can come to the motherfucking cookout or you don't. But we ain't finna motherfucking cancel it. All these motherfucking years we came to y'all motherfucking cookout. We ain't like what y'all motherfucking selling. Motherfucking raisins and all that shit in that motherfucking potato salad. But we still motherfucking came. Piss me the fuck off. I know one thing. We ain't canceling no motherfucking cookout.
Period. So there's Plies. Let's see what else we got. Charlemagne, who was not willing to endorse Biden, is now coming out to endorse Harris.
Endorse Vice President Kamala Harris should she get the nomination?
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely would endorse Vice President Kamala Harris. I supported Kamala Harris in 2020 when she ran for president. I was out there on the campaign trail with her. She was the only reason that I voted for the Biden-Harris ticket to begin with. And, we have our, disagreements on air and off air. But I think that, she is the perfect person, to be to fight in these unprecedented times right now. So,
Angela, out. Do you think you might endorse Vice President Kamala Harris?
You endorsed Joe Biden back in 2020. But this time around, you say you're not going to endorse anybody. Charlemagne, now is not the time, in my opinion, to sit this one out.
Yeah. I didn't say that. I never said I was sitting it out.
What you gonna do?
I'm definitely voting in November, but what I like to focus on is issues, not individuals. Like, when
but
you
why not endorse?
Huh?
Why not endorse Biden?
Because if I'm sitting here telling my listeners that, you have somebody out there who is a threat to democracy, you have somebody out there who said they want to, suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. You saw this person, try to lead an attempted coup of this country. And I'm telling people that this guy is a threat to democracy. Have you ever read Project 25? There's only 2 candidates out there. So if I'm saying that about this individual, the choice is clear, right? And I've seen y'all do this on The View before. I saw y'all do this to Killer Mike when he was...
You endorsed Joe Biden.
All right, so y'all just heard Charlemagne. Now let's get into more. I do believe we're about to get into the Daria young lady, where she was going to speak on what's next after Biden ended up dropping out.
Joseph Robinette Biden has officially dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. So what happens next? Yes, he says he supports and picks VP Kamala Harris to take over for him, but it's not that simple. The rules and process are complicated. So how does it actually work? The delegates who were previously pledged to Joe Biden after the primary are now essentially free agents. Rule 13J of the DNC reads that delegates elected to the National Convention pledged to a presidential candidate shall in good conscience reflect the sentiments of those who elected them. This essentially means that while Joe Biden is free to make a recommendation, they don't have to listen to him. They can pick whoever they want. So there's really 2 main ways that this can go. Option A. The entire Democratic Party can rally around Kamala, support her as the pick, and put on a united front at the National Convention and have the delegates choose her. Or option B. This would be like Wild Wild West territory. The Democrats could have a completely open and contested convention, which essentially would function as a mini primary. Contenders and people would be running around attempting to persuade delegates to put them at the top of the ticket, which some leaders like Nancy Pelosi have suggested is the way to go. Quick explanation of how the whole delegate thing works. There's around 4,500 delegates. 3,900 of those are pledged delegates, and 740 are superdelegates. In order to win, Kamala or whoever else on the first round would need to receive support from around 1,950 of those pledged delegates. Now, if she doesn't get this number and the convention is contested, they go into a second round, where then the superdelegates are able to vote. And she'll need to win a majority of all of the delegates, which would be over 2,200. So the work has already begun, and this next week is going to be crucial. Kamala and her team are making calls to the delegates, leaders, governors, and asking for their support. Now, as far as the money goes, the Biden-Harris ticket personally has raised over $90 million. And if she's the pick, then the money will go directly to her. But if she's not, then the money has to be returned to donors, or it may be transferred to his federal super PAC, which again, the legality of is iffy. She's also apparently raised over $5 million just in the hour following the announcement. The Democratic National Convention is set for August 19th in Chicago, and the DNC can change their rules at any time. Kamala Harris will also need to pick a VP. My guess and pick would be Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona. He was an astronaut, a Navy captain, and his wife is former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Now, this is all unprecedented. No sitting president has dropped out this close to November before. And the Republican Party and DJT will almost certainly file lawsuits and launch legal challenges no matter how this all shakes out. Joseph Robinette Biden has officially dropped.
All right, so y'all heard some of what she said here. And then we'll get into the Agenda 47.
Let's talk about it. Agenda 47. Now, what's the difference between Agenda 47 and Project 2025? Agenda 47 is DJT's official plans and policies for his second term as president. Remember, he claims he knows nothing about Project 2025 and that Agenda 47 is his only platform. So let's go through it. No bias.
Oh, yes. Real quick about what she was talking about. She was just giving the breakdown so people can understand how like the delegates and things work now that Biden has stepped down. And this was like a day ago. But at this point, from what I did see, I did get a news article to pop up on my phone saying that she pretty much has all of the delegates to be the nominee for the Democratic Party. Okay, so just an update on that. I think she's in pretty good standing. She's more likely going to be the one on the ticket.
Just facts and information because you need to know what it says. Okay, so background. Agenda 47 is nowhere near as well thought out and researched as Project 2025. Project 2025 is over 900 pages. It was written by legal experts, scientists, insiders, doctors, scholars with tons and tons of citations. Now, Agenda 47, on the other hand, is a series of 2 to 3 minute videos of the Don talking about multiple different plans and topics, some of which are also touched on in Project 2025. Here's an example clip to show you what I'm talking about. In this one, he's discussing trans rights.
I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago.
So yeah, it's a whole lot of that. Not super detailed. His other platform policies include the following. 1, ending birthright citizenship for illegal migrants. 2, completely eliminating the Department of Education, which is also in Project 2025. 3, he claims he'll sign an executive order on his first day to redirect funds that are used to house migrants to house homeless veterans. 4, automatic capital punishment for anyone caught bringing humans across the border. 5, he plans to take funding away from private institutions and universities like Harvard and build a new education institution called the American Academy. 6, he plans to cut aid to Ukraine, and he's also going to ask Europe to reimburse us for the money that was already spent. 7, he plans to give more money to families to homeschool their children. 8, removing all DEI diversity and inclusion programs, including firing all DEI employees, eliminating critical race theory, and he plans to use the Department of Justice to bring suits against any school that defies him. 9, he wants to bring back the theory of impoundment. Impoundment, by the way, is when Congress designates money for something, say climate change or an effort like that. Impoundment essentially allows the president to veto that and put the money somewhere else. Congress got rid of this in 1974 after President Richard Nixon continued to use it and trap funds. 10, he plans to drill more oil, of course, and is generally against any climate or environmental proposals, something that's also mentioned in Project 2025. 11, he wants to get rid of the administrative and regulatory states, so all the agencies. So think Chevron and Schedule F, again, another tenet of Project 2025. 12, as far as the economy, he has plans for a universal tariff. 13, and this one's a little odd, he has an entire video and section about planning America a 250th birthday party for the anniversary of our independence. and he wants to hold this big fair in Iowa in 2026. 14, he plans to stop everything going on at the border and in Mexico. And 15, he wants to bring back free speech and take on the big tech companies. There's a few more, but that's pretty much everything. Again, these are not very detailed or comprehensive policy plans. Nowhere near the effort of Project 2025, which is the real machine behind DJT. Let's talk.
Ooh, child. She got into some things, didn't it?
Let's do a rapid fire roundup of potential VP picks for the Democrats. These are going to be ranked in order from who I would pick first. Keep in mind that I also did select JD Vance as DJT's pick. So I'm on a roll here. Also, Governor Gavin Newsom is not really in the running because he's from California and VP Harris is also from California. The 12th Amendment doesn't allow for that for them to be from the same state, so one of them would have to switch residencies, which I don't see happening.
People have also alleged that her and him used to date, so they felt like that would be messy too because they heard that she and Gavin used to have a relationship back in the day.
Strong here, we have Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona. So I like Mark for a few reasons. U.S. Navy captain, which gives him credibility, and he'll be able to contrast his experience with J.D. Vance's experience. He's also an astronaut, which is also just so cool. And he's married to former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords here, who survived in an attempt. So he'll be able to talk about political violence.
Oh,
He's
wow.
also pretty moderate and has that strong American man vibe. The cons would be that his Senate seat is very important. And the governor of Arizona, Katie Hobbs, could replace him with a Democrat, but eventually they'll have to hold a special session to fill his seat. And that could go either way. Number 2, and this is a sleeper pick, but he is my number 2. Governor Roy Cooper of North Carolina. This is like your Joe Biden, but younger, solid political pick. Like, he's been doing this for a while. He's 67. He was the Attorney General of North Carolina for 16 years and also served in the House and in the Senate. And now he's in his second term as governor. Like, he's not new to this. He's been doing this for a while, and he's good at it. He was the first ever governor to unseat a sitting incumbent governor in the state of North Carolina in 2016. Also, when North Carolina passed that huge controversial bathroom ban, he was all over it and calling it discriminatory and wrong. He's dedicated, he's experienced, he's someone I could see Kamala leaning on and calling if she needs advice or help. But some people say he's not spicy enough for the ticket. Next up, we have Governor Andy Beshear of Kentucky. Now, I like
I've been
Andy.
hearing
Andy
his
has
name a
that
lot.
spice to him. He's young, he's 49, and he's from a pretty red state. His age and demographic would make him a good head-to-head with J.D. Vance. I already saw him say something like, he ain't from here. He's also in his second term as governor, which is good. That means he's established. And his dad was also the governor. So he has that kind of Bush political legacy thing going on. My next pick would be Pete Buttigieg, former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and the current Secretary of Transportation. Has one of the best resumes, like Harvard, Oxford, military, all the check boxes. People are saying that America's not ready necessarily for a gay candidate on the ticket, but I don't know if that's true. He'd also crush it in any debate. Last but certainly not least, we have Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. He may be a solid pick in terms of the fact that Pennsylvania is a swing state, but he just has not been governor for that long. He's only a year into his first term, which is pretty new. I don't see Pennsylvania Dems being happy that he leaves his post after such a short period of time.
Right.
Those are my top 5 picks. I'd be surprised if it's anyone outside of those top 5. Former Attorney General Eric Holder is running the background on the selection process for the VPs right now. DJT and the Republicans will be watching very closely to see who's picked and see if they agree to any debates. Let's do a rapid fire roundup of potential.
So that was rather interesting. Okay, that was rather interesting. Let me see. I think I wrapped all of that up. Yeah, we'll do that at a separate time. Okay, yeah, we'll do all of that at a separate time. But that's all that I got at this particular time for this whole segment regarding Kamala Harris being up to run for presidency. You guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below on whether or not you're in support of her or in support of somebody else. Thank you so much, Cyan, for the super chat. Cyan is supporting independent, and that is Robert Kennedy. Okay, she feels like he's the best person for America, so we shall see. Everybody, y'all have a right to choose who it is that y'all want to choose ultimately, so that's up to y'all. Thank you for the super chat. I just wanted to come to y'all with a little bit when it comes to this. I'm going to go and learn me some more stuff. Y'all do the same. Make sure you're liking up the video, subscribing to the channel, making sure that your notification bell is indeed on. I appreciate all of you guys for watching and being here with me today. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.